All right, then we are on to our lab number 7, which is intermediate git. That means when you get stuck and mistakenly do anything wrong, so you should be aware of how to undo that mistake. All right. So our next lab is all about to restore, reset, and revert the things. For that, we'll create a file. We'll stage it, we'll undo the staged file, we'll try to remove the last commit safely, and we'll try to revert a bad commit. So let's not waste time, jump onto the hands-on. However, before I do that, again, there are things that I just want you to be aware of. So when we talk about undoing mistakes, mistakes happen. Git provides safe and unsafe ways to do undo work. So knowing the difference prevents your data loss. Then you which is very good for your enterprise cases. So, but out of these commands, you have seen reset and revert. You must be thinking that these looks very similar. Then what's the difference? So when we talk about reset and revert, the only difference is reset rewrites your history and revert adds a new commit. And when to use this hyphen soft hyphen hard, so hyphen hard is basically used only when you are sure data can be lost. All right. And I hope you now know why soft is in place. All right. Let's now jump onto the terminal and see what we can do here. Let's now try to uh, restore the files. Before that, I'll first try to delete this folder. Delete because this was create cloned earlier. I have deleted it. And now I'll try to update my deployed or text, which is nothing, or let's do this requirement dot text, which is nothing but just a second. I'll say this. I'll say generate and create requirements dot txt. So it is creating requirements dot txt, adding some dependencies here. We'll keep these dependencies like that. We'll save it and then we'll say get status. Currently we are into demo for git. Let's not bother about it. Git status. So I have modified the file, and now if I want to discard these changes, the first command is restore in our lab session. So we'll use that right away. Let's do that. Git restore and then the file name requirements.txt. I'll hit enter. See, the changes were reverted back to the previous one. So that's really great. Now I'll again try to do get a status because I have again did the control Z. Now again it says the same. So what I'll do next is I have already done uh, git restore, but I have done restore when the changes were not staged. However, what if I do git add this? Now if I do git status, now I have changes staged, and but since we have not committed it yet, so the changes are ready to be committed. So before I do that, I'll again run git restore, but this time with staged uh, um, syntax, and then we'll add the file name here. Now again if I run git status, so it is back to the previous state. So it is now again ready to be added to the staging area. Now let's do again one more thing. All right. Let's try to add this and let's commit this change and say updated. Okay, and now if I do git status, I have nothing, it's clean. If I do git restore now with file name requirement.txt, let's see what it does. Now it has restored, but where? Status. So, so now if you see, your branch is ahead of by one commit because we have not pushed this commit to the remote repository. That's fine, but since we ran git is restored this, now if I move ahead and do the git reset hyphen soft, let's see what it does. And now do the git status. Okay, I forgot to run head one. Head, and then there should be a symbol here. Head one. There is a symbol called here is okay. I have it here. Head one. All right, now I'll do git status. See, so even if you did the commit and you would like to move it to the previous state where the commit, where the file is added to the staged area, but it was I'm still waiting for the commit to be done. So if you would like to remove that commit and you like to changes to be remain in staging area, you do hyphen hyphen soft git reset. Now the same thing I would like to do with git reset hard. Let's see what it does. Let me again commit this. Now I'll do, instead of soft, which is taking you to the previous state or like previous step, now I'll say hard head one. All right, now you are on the local branch. Now you are 100% sure you don't need the changes, and if you have observed, my requirements.txt is back to where I was in the initial state. So what it does, it uh, gets you into the initial stage when you use hard, and when you use hyphen hyphen soft, it is just do the previous, step rollback, something you can assume or say, right? Now talking about revert, what revert does, let's see. So I am again going to save it, again going to add it, like to would like to do the commit, fine. Now if I say git log hyphen hyphen one line hyphen hyphen one line, so I just checked what has been done so far. So this is the log for the recent thing where the head is demo for git origin main. These are the branches I have, and I just ended the initial dependencies and every other thing that we did. Now I do git revert head, just like that. Okay, so I ran git revert head, and now it's asking me to edit the commit. Let's say I say I'll say let's not do anything. I just did it like I just did like that. So now I do git status. Now I have two commits if you can see. So if I do git commit hyphen m updated files. Okay, that's for push. So we have nothing to commit here. However, if you have seen, it's again back to our initial stage. So basically, talking about the rule here, I would like to mention this. So when we used git restore initially, the changes history, if I talk about, we say no, it doesn't change history. And what about the data loss risk on the restore? There is no chance of data loss. But when we ran git reset hyphen hyphen soft or even hyphen hyphen hard, it actually changes history. So if somebody asks you, does git reset changes history? Would you would say yes. However, when we talk about data loss risk, then in this hyphen hyphen soft, we don't have any data loss risk. But when we do the hard reset, then there are chances of the data loss. And both are used in the git reset. Both are used on the local itself. But restore was on files. But when we do the git revert, it doesn't change the history. It actually adds commit to the one that you previously had. So you can add on, you can edit the commit there. You can add the lines that you would like to add more commits. So it usually add commit there. And talking about the data loss risk, there is no data loss risk, but it is used on the uh, shared repository or the branches files. So the golden rule is when we do the local mistake, you use reset. When we do the shared branch mistake, you use revert. When you have the file mistake, you use restore. That is it.